So I just got the reMarkable Paper Pro and the Marker Plus in the mail, and we're gonna unbox it, and I'm gonna give you my first impressions. Never seen it in person before, and I'll do some very basic initial tests, and then I'll make separate videos going more in depth with this product. So this is how it shipped to me. Pretty nice box here, some paper, you know how it goes. Let's take out the individual boxes here. Here's the reMarkable Paper Pro box and the Marker Plus stylus. Got a nice little indent of the stylus itself right there. I think it's kind of neat. Looks like there's a little pull tab here. Kind of satisfying. All right. So it separates it out right away to the actual marker itself and the marker tips. I think it's cool. Here is the reMarkable Marker Plus. And honestly, this does feel a lot like the previous Marker Plus, at least how it feels in the hand, which is a very good thing because I really liked how that felt. In here, looks like just some paperwork stuff. Nothing too interesting there. In this other box, we got another box. This is actually like a hard plastic. I wasn't sure by some people's unboxing if this was another cardboard box or if this was actually plastic. But yeah, this is totally a plastic little box that you're gonna keep around, and it slides out this little drawer full of the marker tips. Well, it's 6 of them. Kind of wish there was even more, to be honest, but they say they'll last longer than their previous marker tips. And that's good because honestly, reMarkable tips, while they felt awesome, they wore very quickly. No real wrapping around the marker itself, just this little tag. All right, it's looking nice. So we'll set that off to the side. All right, now on to the main event, the reMarkable Paper Pro itself. And yeah, it's a pretty big box. It kind of reminds me of the 12.9-inch iPad Pro box, just a little bit thinner. So let's see this device in person. Oh, that wasn't very satisfying. That was better. All right. Okay. This looks very, very nice. It's very thin feeling. It's got enough weight to feel substantial and well made, but not so much weight where I feel like it's too heavy. But more on that in a moment. It's got a nice branded USB-C to USB-C cable. I honestly like this one a lot. It's flat, which means it's easy to fold up like this. It also looks pretty long. And if I remember correctly, the reMarkable 2 came with a USB-C to USB-A cable. And to me, it's just not quite as nice as the C to C. Like to see that. And the other section here just seems to have a bunch of paperwork, quick start guide, and all that. And don't forget a little welcome to better thinking. All right, so that's everything that came in the box. I don't think this is one that you can slide out. So we're just going to unwrap it. Yeah, the build quality of this is really, really good. I cannot complain about reMarkable build quality. All right, let's turn it on. Better paper, better thinking, it tells us. Let's see if that's true. Ooh. Yeah, I can tell the front light's on a little bit right now. Those colors do look nice from what I can see. All right, now it's wanting me to attach the marker. As you can see, it does have a little battery indicator right there, so this marker does require power, which I wonder if that's going to affect the battery life too much on this reMarkable, because it honestly doesn't have that much bigger of a battery for it being a bigger size. It's a 5,000 instead of a 3,000 like the previous reMarkable. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, that definitely could impact the battery. I also heard the front light being on can impact your battery life, so things to think about for sure. Just wanting us to keep the marker attached for the rest of the setup. That's fine with me. I do like how reMarkable walks you through what their screen refreshing looks like. I think that's really neat. It's very user-friendly to people who've never had an e-ink tablet before. And if you saw reMarkable's marketing campaign and how many different reviewers they gave them to, you can kind of tell they were trying to market to people who have never gotten an e-ink device in the past. Something I have noticed though is all these UI elements, they're not really black. They're all a dark blue, which looks fine, but I kind of wonder if there's ever really going to be a true black on this device. And it may not be a big deal if it's all just dark blue, but I'd be a little disappointed if I couldn't have a true black. All right, I'm going to connect to Wi-Fi quick. All right, it's wanting me to get the latest software. Here's a look at some of that blue that's on the screen. Don't know how well you can see that, but the loading symbol right here is a different kind of blue, more like the cyan. Same with this highlight, it's a bit of a lighter blue. Oh, now we're restarting. And now the front light's off. This is what the screen looks like completely off. Now I see the front light is back on. You can just see a faint glow and how it's a little bit lighter than the border. That's kind of how I've been able to tell the front light being on. All right, it's pairing to my account. It's kind of interesting that it really requires you to have that set up before letting you finish getting into the reMarkable. All right, pairing complete. We can activate our free trial and manage our account. Okay, cool. This is probably to enter a passcode. For now, I think I'm going to skip. I just don't know if I want to put this code in every time that I'm opening up my device. If it had like a fingerprint reader or some kind of Face ID thing, that would be one thing, but typing in a code every time, I don't know. I am right-handed. All right, it's gonna introduce me to some key features. All right, so you can tap the status bar here for some quick settings, and this is where you adjust the front light. So I don't mind keeping this off almost all the time. Really, this is only helpful at night, but yeah, this is max brightness. So it's not helping you really at all in the day. It's really only meant to be a reading light at night. And I said you can access this by swiping as well, which is cool. Here's a look at some more of those colors on the writing tools here. So writing tools and styluses. All right, I'm going to now write on the reMarkable. I'm going to keep it in black, and I want to see what black really looks like. I've always loved the reMarkable's mechanical pencil. So let's see how that goes. That's the best way I can show the sound of the writing feel here. And yeah, it feels pretty good. Here is the look of the black ink. And yeah, I don't know how well it's coming across on the camera, but it definitely is more of a dark blue than a true black. Again, this is definitely not a deal breaker for probably anyone out there. I mean, if you're used to writing on paper, there's many pens that aren't full black. They're kind of like a blackish blue, and that's very common. So it may not be that off-putting at all or anything like that. It's just a little unfortunate that it feels like the gray and blacks are suffering from this color screen a little bit. In fact, let's try just gray. Since this is a mechanical pencil here. So, I don't know. It feels a little weird. The gray is definitely pretty hard to see on this background. Let's see if adding the front light in again will help that at all. Yeah, a little bit, but not significantly. It's still pretty muted, but it is gray. If I remember correctly, the reMarkable 2 had a bit more of a gray scale that you could pick from. And yeah, that's not really here, which is unfortunate. You can write in white though. That's interesting. I don't know. Huh. I think white is just erasing it. It's difficult to pin down my thoughts on this. I'm gonna have it side by side with the reMarkable 2 in my next video with this device. Unfortunately, I don't have a reMarkable 2 myself. I just have to borrow either my dad's, my brother's, or one of my friends. because I know a lot of people who have them. I just gave mine away, so I don't use that daily. But again, if I remember correctly, there was more grayscale options, and I don't know. I feel like I like the look of the blacks and those grays to write in more than this. And it looks like if you choose any color besides black, after you're done writing in it, it will have to do a quick refresh of that color. So even cyan, which there's actually cyan particles in this device. So in theory, it can just push those particles up and it shouldn't really have to refresh much. Yeah, so it had that quick refresh after the fact. So at least it waits till you're done writing actively, so it's not doing it constantly to you while you're making the marks, which is definitely the best way they could have done it, I think. But it is a little distracting for sure. I don't know if I really want to write in extended periods of time in other colors. But if you're basically only in black and the slightly off black doesn't bother you at all, and you just go along writing in this color, I think you're going to be just fine. At least this marker seems to charge very quickly. It's already at full power here. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. The screen itself also doesn't feel quite as textured as the other reMarkable, but it writes very textured feeling, very paper-like feeling. The eraser works just like the previous marker. I mean, if you like reMarkable and you want to have a splash of color in things, you could totally do that. I kind of wish reMarkable gave an option for a stroke eraser. Sometimes I do like the more pixel eraser where it's just erasing what you actually touch. But other times I don't really want to go to the selection eraser here. And there's a lot of times too, if you just erase part of a word, the eraser is not super fine point, so you might erase more than what you were wanting to, so then you have to redo the whole word anyway. And in a lot of ways, a stroke eraser is just nice. At least as an option, it's nice. Kind of give me a little tutorial on everything. Yes, tags are pretty important with reMarkable if you want to keep things organized, especially if you do a lot of different notebooks and things like that on here, and you want to be able to go back to them. Tagging things is important because it's basically the only way you can search through them. It's the only way you can have anything like a table of contents or bookmarks. All that is done through tags. You can't have multiple layers, which is pretty cool. And you can convert it to text, present it with screen share, or send it by email. Pretty typical reMarkable things. I'm kind of curious what all the template options are. I want to know if there's something that looks new compared to the previous reMarkable. From what I could tell, they all look exactly the same as the previous reMarkable. I don't think I see anything unique to this larger screen. I think I always do the line small. Oh, that gets pretty small on this one. Maybe I did medium. Oh, no, I think I could write pretty well with this small lines. Man, I'm gonna be able to fit a lot on one page. You know, if nothing else, even if the color features aren't really gonna be something you're using quite often, the big screen is really nice. I have no complaints about that. I don't know if this pen on paper feel is my favorite. I honestly don't even know if it beats the reMarkable 2, to be honest. They claim it's even more paper-like than reMarkable 2. But is it? And I'm hit with the reminder of what the reMarkable's operating system is when you're using this device. And there's just a few things that are just lacking. And it's annoying. But there's one thing especially that I think they need to add in the software. And that's some way to trigger a full screen refresh. Almost every other, if not literally every other e-ink tablet that I know of has a way to, in the software, do some kind of swipe gesture or something that triggers a full screen refresh. And As far as I know, reMarkable does not have it unless it's a very hidden feature. But yeah, it's not there. Or even just add something on the side toolbar here that just is a button for a full screen refresh. Something like that. It's just annoying when the screen gets kind of messy and you have no way to force it to clean itself up. It's gonna happen with an e-ink screen. It's bound to. And reMarkable does a pretty good job of auto cleaning it up. But I've heard and seen through some videos that the yellow especially can sometimes stain a little bit. And yeah, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there is a bit of ghosting of that yellow even after it refreshed while changing the screen. And yeah, it's definitely a lot of flashing going on when it's got a lot of colors to switch between. So I don't know if the colors are so great that I would say this is like solved the problem of color e-ink for me. I still think Supernote has a great perspective of color, and that's to not really use it right now. I know so many people are big fans of the Kaleido 3 technology that books and others have used, and I just can't get behind it. It grays the screen so bad, and it basically requires a front light. And unless you can be like reMarkable here and fit that in without making the pen to ink distance larger, then it's not worth it to me. And a front light is just going to drain your battery a lot more, and I don't like to feel like I'm forced to use a front light. And even opening this tools menu here, there's a good amount of flashing just trying to show you what your color options are. Now, if you're not looking for it, it's not super distracting, but once you start noticing it, you kind of can't unsee it. But yeah, that's my initial impressions. It's not bad. It's not amazing though. It didn't blow me out of the water seeing colors on here. I've seen Kaleido 3 in person. I had a Books Tab Mini C for about a month, so I know what it's like. And honestly, this isn't like miles above the quality of Kaleido 3. I do think overall it's a more promising technology, and it probably will be the future of e-ink screens. But I still think there's a bit of ways to go. And that's why I know companies like Supernote have opted to just not use color until the technology gets even better. And maybe reMarkable is just doing that to try to push that forward. I don't know if it's there yet. I don't really know if there's anything they could do with that flashing and stuff like that with the software, if they can improve that over time. And like I said, if nothing else, just give us at least a button or a gesture to refresh the screen. With this color flashing and some ghosting from the color, I think that's not really optional. That should be essential. It's hard to tell a little bit. My lighting's not spectacular here. I feel like this screen is a little bit grayer than the reMarkable 2, but I'll put them side by side to know that for sure. Lastly, before I end this video, I just want to do a couple really brief comparisons to some other tablets that I have right here. Here's the Supernote, and yeah, I feel like it might almost be more of a gray than Supernote's screen, but it's hard to tell for sure. And see, this is the black on the Supernote here. This is the black on the reMarkable. It's just not quite as nice looking, quite as high contrast. It's also not really bad either. It's very usable, and in certain lighting it looks black, but it definitely has a blue hint to it. I do want to point out though, the screen is about 2 of these, so that's pretty nifty. Also, I'm pretty sure the reMarkable's magnets are triggering the sleep and wake function of this device, which I think is quite funny. But yeah, that is screen comparison here between those two. And the other comparison I want to do is, you guys should just see my Penstar initial review and look at the whiteness of this screen compared to the reMarkable. It is significantly whiter. I mean, look at that black text on this white background. That looks really sharp. I love how that looks. And this looks a little muted, I'm gonna be honest. Let's see if turning on the front light helps this at all. Yeah, maybe. I think this makes it look a little bit whiter, but it still looks more muted compared to the Penstar. So that's the reMarkable Paper Pro. Overall, a really, really well built device. I love the aluminum back here and just how well machined it is. The ridges feel really nice in the sides. And even though it's slightly thicker than the previous reMarkable 2, it's still very, very thin and very impressive. I'm just kind of curious what more of my testing will reveal about this device. I don't know, it just didn't blow me out of the water. I was just hoping for a little bit more from it than what I got. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna load in a lot more actual full color images and things like that, see how it handles it. I know some people have been doing comic books on this device. Honestly, that looks really cool, and I might try something like that as well. I don't really read many comic books, but I'll try to find something that will at least test that for you guys. I'm actually going on a week-long trip out of state, so unfortunately this next week I'm not gonna be able to make any long form content on the reMarkable Paper Pro, but while I'm gone, I'll try to make some shorts and post those about things I found out about this device and stuff like that. And then when I get back, I'll work on recording more direct comparisons with some of its competitors and the other tablets I have here. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and comment below. Comment if you think this is worth almost $700. And if you're a fan of the reMarkable 2 or this reMarkable, let me know your top 5 reasons why you choose reMarkable. And of course, please be subscribed. It will seriously help me be able to make more videos like this and get more products to review and compare to the reMarkable Paper Pro and other things, and I'll be able to get them out quicker and at higher quality. So if you're not already subscribed, please do that. I promise you it will be helping me out and I'll be greatly appreciative. And if there's any content that you've been wanting from this device, from the Penstar, from the Supernote, from the iPad Pro that no one has made yet and you're curious about it, please let me know in the comments below. I have made many videos off of people's requests to me, and I will continue to do that. So if there's something that you're curious about or you want to know, definitely let me know. If you're curious about my setup at all, it's all going to be linked in the description down below. And as always, have a great rest of your day.